Hey Spuds, how's it going? Welcome back to another video, your first video. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Jamie. Yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy this video. Today we're having another look at some funny things that transphobes have said. Just some strange, nonsensical arguments from the transphobes, trying to be not very nice and just making me laugh in the process. And hopefully this video can make you giggle about it too, so welcome. This episode is called Peak Trans. I have no idea what I'm going to call this video because I have no idea what peak trans is. I found a Facebook page called Peak Trans. The peakest of trans, the transiness peak, peakiest, the peakest. I hope you're going to join me for the ride. But just before we get into today's video, I have a quick message from today's video sponsor, ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a virtual private network VPN, which is the #1 rated VPN out there. ExpressVPN offers you internet security, privacy, and content unblocking. So not only will your internet information be all snuggly and secure and not open to interception, all achieved by ExpressVPN, creating a secure encryption tunnel between your device and the internet. But, and I think we can all agree this is very important right now, ExpressVPN allows you to unblock content on streaming services that may not be available in your country. This works by a clever rerouting of your connection to a server in a country of your choice. For example, us Brits can't watch Adventure Time on Netflix. I know, sad times. Except not so sad times with our good friend ExpressVPN. We can just simply connect to a server in a country where Adventure Time is available and voila. And it's not just Adventure Time. There are thousands of titles that you can unblock simply by switching your location. And with some extra time during lockdown, having some extra content to watch has been very welcomed. So if you're looking for some extra internet security, or maybe you've exhausted everything there is to watch on the streaming services in your country, then check out ExpressVPN and see how you can get a 3 entire months free by clicking on the link in the description box. expressvpn.com/Jammidodger. Thank you very much for listening. Now back to the video. Time for the peakest of trans. Ooh. It's not going to be spooky. I don't know why I was saying it like that, but let's go. We're actually going to start off with a definition of peak trans. Definition: peak trans, the breaking point at which one realizes that they can no longer support the extremism of gender identity ideology. In other words, the point at which somebody decides to be transphobic. There's no this has got too extreme for my liking, I'm gonna move on. Like, trans people are just being heard more in society, and if that is too much for people who don't like trans people to bear, and they're now gonna try and come up with fancy terms to try and justify it to themselves, and that is fine. We can just have a giggle about it. Peak trans, honestly, I don't know what you were thinking, but to me that reads as something that's maybe a little bit more like trans-friendly and like satire. Trans-positive little jokes about like peak trans moments, like when were you the most trans that you could be transing. This is the Facebook page's about description. Transgender issues, women's rights. Woman equals adult human female. Humans can't change sex. It's almost like a poem. Let's stop using the word trans woman. Trans-identified men are men. It's just outright transphobia. They have no right to put it on a pretty background like that. It just sounds really silly to me because trans women are women, and that's it. No matter how much you argue against that, it doesn't make it any less real. Trans is a spectrum. Well, gender reassigned transsexuals, genuine gender dysphoria sufferers, cross-dressers, sports cheats and other chancers, autogynephiles and fetishists, predatory men. I don't even know what to say, it's just so wrong. But are they trying to call predatory men trans in some way? And are they trying to say that all trans people who compete in sport aren't actually true transes, they're just cheats? I don't understand this, it's so rude. Trans people are trans people. Ta-da! Predatory men and other categories of people are completely separate. Trans woman, noun, adult human male performing femininity. That is not the definition. They literally just made up their own little dictionary entry on that one. A trans woman is a woman who was assigned male at birth. That is the definition. More than just male/female. Okay, I'm assuming this was actually quite a nice, like, inclusive poster with actual definitions on, and peak trans have just come in and, like, done something else. Cis. Boring. Well... Trans, special, and sexist. Can someone please explain this whole, like, trans people are sexist thing? I've heard it from several transphobic people, and I don't understand it. Gender fluid, sexist, and indecisive. Demi, sexist and... no. Agender, sexist and confused. Non-binary, sexist, and very, very, very self-absorbed. They've just gone sexist, with no basis whatsoever. Oh, and then just this really ugly graphic. I don't know if they want to turn it into a pin badge or something, because that seems to be something that these groups do, but just biological reality. I don't understand why that's used as an argument against trans people, because actually trans people are supported by science. It's just really not aesthetically pleasing and blurry. I stand with Posey. Facebook took down her account because she spoke truth. She spoke truth. Woman. Adult human female. Oh, is this the same Posey Parker that also goes by different names, or at least one other different name that also said these things?
I think when you decide that men can come into women's space, it's no longer a women's space. India obviously looks like a woman, but I don't see India as a woman.
And it's just really highly transphobic and hiding it under the guise of some form of feminism. Not cool. I can very much see why she has been banned from groups, seeing as being trans and gender identity is a protected characteristic. So if you discriminate against trans people and if you're transphobic openly, then you may face some consequences for that. Trans rights are men's rights. What? I like how... I mean, I don't like... But what I'm just the really strong running theme in a lot of transphobia, there's like, I feel like there's different stems of transphobia, right? And in this specific stem that is trying to hide it under some form of feminism, it's all about hating on trans women and invalidating trans women. But by doing that, trans men are completely ignored, and it really just weakens their non-existent argument. Trans rights are human rights. Can we drop a comment down below for that, please? Gender refers to the stereotypical roles that are forced on men and women. No one has gender identities, we all just have bodies and personalities. I don't have a gender identity because my personality is not a set of stereotypes. This is just getting really, really confused between gender roles and expression and then gender identity. Gender identity is a separate thing. Your gender is a genuine thing. I'm not saying everybody has to inherently feel like they have one or feel like they have one separate to their assigned sex, because I guess if you never have to think about it and you don't want to think about it, then why would you feel like there are any two distinct things going on with that within yourself? But trans people do have to think about it, and there is evidence to support that our gender identity and birth sex are different things, and they are separate and they can be different, hence trans people. But yeah, this is just getting confused between gender expression and gender identity. This one is here because, like, there's a bunch of people who get really obsessed with, like, oh, that woman looks a little bit masculine, she must be a man. She's a man pretending to be a woman to infiltrate women's sports. I mean, like, you're the one really, really pushing stereotypes there by saying, like, oh, you're a bit masculine, which means you must be a man, which just kind of, like, goes against a lot of the other arguments that they think they have. But, I mean, it would hurt anyone to get hit there. I don't understand the obsession. Oh, look, I'm going to circle this. This is proof. Proof that you're a bit silly. Hi, front desk. Can I get a wake-up call? Yeah, of course. Men can never become women. Okay, I mean, that's not news, but it's because trans women aren't men. They don't become women. They start living as the women they are. So, yeah, cool. Nice one. A Venn diagram. Being a man, being a lesbian. Again, trans women who are lesbians are not men, so okay. And finally, a cartoon of a little kid talking to a parent, I assume. Can I have a cigarette? No, you're 5. Can I have a beer? No, you're 5. Can I drive a car? No, you're 5. Oh no, I know where this is going. Can I take hormones and change my sex? Sure, you know best. 1, we do not question whether cisgender kids know their gender identity, so why not treat trans kids in the same way? Also, no 5-year-old would ever receive any kind of hormones. It does not happen at that age, so this is just very wrong and pushing a false narrative to scare people into thinking that, like, the trans are taking over and they're transing the kids really young and putting them on hormones and making them have surgery. It's just not happening like that. And that was everything for that topic. What did you think? Leave a comment comment down below which one was the most nonsensical, which one was the daftest, because to be honest, all of them were a bit silly, weren't they? I feel like I can't even get offended anymore, because like all of that is just so wrong that it's funny. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. Think about giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, and I'll see you next time. Much love, bye!